A sunset, a meme trend, a Snapchat story. What do they have in common? They're all ephemeral, which is they last for a very short time, almost fleeting. An example sentence for ephemeral would be that the beauty of cherry blossoms is ephemeral, which means it lasts for a very short time. Getting a 20-minute rant from your friend because you were 5 minutes late, that's harangue. A long and aggressive speech to lecture someone critically. An example sentence for harangue could be, the coach's harangue left the team demoralized rather than motivated. So remember it, harangue. Alright, the GRE word for today is inchoate. Inchoate is something that's just begun. Think of a half-baked idea or a newborn plant. So something that's not fully developed. An example sentence would be that the startup's inchoate business model needs some refinement. So something that's just begun and not fully developed or formed. Another important word for standardized exams would be to obfuscate, which is to make something confusing or unclear, often deliberately so. So an example sentence here could be that the company report was filled with jargons to obfuscate the real truth about its finances. So remember, to obfuscate. She sips coffee while her deadlines burn. Insouciant. Insouciant is someone who's casually unconcerned, carefree. An example sentence for insouciant could be, she strolled through the exam halls with an insouciant grin and 0 notes. So remember it, insouciant. That first breath you take at the edge of a mountain view. Ineffable. Ineffable is something that's too great or extreme to be described in words. An example sentence could be, the joy of holding the newborn was ineffable. So remember it. Ever been in awe of someone because of their crystal clear explanations? That's pellucid. An example sentence for pellucid could be, her pellucid explanation made even the most complex concepts seem simple. So remember it, pellucid. His coruscating commentary lit up the debate stage with both sparkle and sting. So what does coruscating mean? Coruscating is something that's flashing brightly, sparkling, but it is often used for a sharp wit too. So you can imagine fairy lights with a PhD. Remember for your GRE, coruscating. Ever seen a Netflix show that killed your favorite character in episode 2? Capricious, right? So remember, capricious is something that's unpredictable, that changes suddenly without a warning. An example sentence could be, the plot was so capricious that the fans didn't know whether to scream or cry. So remember for GRE, capricious. That friend who replies with a single word and leaves you wondering what they really mean. That's laconic. Laconic is someone who uses very few words, concise and to the point, often coming across as mysterious or rude. An example sentence would be that his laconic response made it hard to tell if he was angry or indifferent. If someone gives mystery vibes and keeps to themselves, they're probably reticent. It's an adjective for people who are reserved or restrained in speech, who do not reveal their thoughts directly. In fact, I remember as an educator, I would come across a lot of students who were reticent or reserved in their speech. Bare walls, plain clothes, no nonsense. That's the vibe of austere. So austere is an adjective which means to be strict in manner, to have no comforts or luxuries. An example sentence here could be that the monk's room was very austere, which means again, rather Spartan conditions. That moment when someone dares to speak up in a room full of experts, that's temerity. It means excessive confidence or boldness, like audacity. An example sentence for temerity would be, he had the temerity to challenge the professor's long-held beliefs. So remember it. Your friend is always cheerful, even during exams. Totally sanguine. Now, sanguine is a word that I particularly like. It means to be optimistic and hopeful, even during difficult times. An example sentence here could be that despite the layoffs, she continued to be sanguine about her future prospects. So remember it, sanguine. That student who always laughs a little too hard at the teacher's jokes. A sycophant. Someone who's overly flattering in order to gain some advantage. An example sentence for sycophant could be, the office was full of sycophants who always praise the boss's idea, however absurd. So remember it, sycophant. You know that friend who says yes to all plans instantly? That's alacrity. The eagerness or cheerful readiness to say yes. An example sentence would be that she accepted the invitation with alacrity, which means there was a promptness in her response. All right, another important word would be pernicious, which is harmful in a gradual or subtle way. It's all the more relevant in today's times that how the spread of misinformation has a pernicious effect on public trust. So remember it for all your standardized exams. Think of a millionaire who donates huge sums of money to charity. That's munificent. Somebody who's extremely generous or lavish in giving. An example sentence for munificent could be that the munificent donor funded the entire scholarship program. That student who refuses to follow classroom rules despite multiple warnings. Recalcitrant. Recalcitrant is someone who's stubbornly resistant to any authority or control. An example sentence would be that the recalcitrant employee ignored multiple warnings before facing the consequences. Another word for the day would be to equivocate, which is to speak ambiguously or vaguely, especially to avoid any sort of commitment. Politicians do this all the time. An example sentence would be that instead of choosing to speak directly, she chose to equivocate. Alright, so in our vocabulary series, the word for today would be prosaic. Prosaic means something that's ordinary, dull, lacking imagination. An example sentence would be that despite the hype, the movie had a prosaic plot and flat characters. Showing up to an interview in pajamas. Egregious, right? Egregious means something that's outstandingly bad, shocking. An example sentence would be his egregious error cost the team their only shot at winning. So remember it, egregious. Think of a bitter argument filled with sharp insults. That's acrimonious. Angry or bitter in speech or tone. An example sentence would be the debate became acrimonious when both parties refused to compromise. That friend who shares your secrets behind your back. That's perfidy. It means a deliberate betrayal or breach of trust. An example sentence would be that his perfidy shattered the team's unity and trust.